Please read the video. And are we ready to go on recording? Do we have anybody online today?
Commissioner Paulson say the time zone is different, so he'll try his best to join it.
Okay.
Yeah, but he said he can start it. Because I think now it's like morning at 1 a.m. or something, so he tried his best to join.
Where's his zone is really.
Yes.
Not just off.
So he told me where he just showed me his time zone and said, and now it's his Thursday, so I think it's like earlier morning.
Good for him. Good for him. Well, welcome to the August 5th Planning Commission work session. We've got some new faces here. Kimberly Peterson, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and
Sure.
jump on in?
What kind of stuff?
Let's hear just maybe a couple facts about you, kind of your background potentially.
Okay, I had graduated in business, so I just do my own. I started out doing angel investing and doing stuff like that, and I still just kind of do my own private investing, just kind of for fun. And I have 4 kids, and ages 26 to 17. My youngest is a senior at Brighton this year.
Oh, wonderful.
So I don't know, anything else?
I think that's great. What district are you in? Do you know which district you're in? You district
What area of
two
the
or-
city do you live in?
I live down by the old mill.
Okay, great, perfect.
What
So
district am I in?
Right, 3.
that's District 3. Yeah,
Okay,
wonderful. Took over Dan Mills' spot, I guess.
yeah, I think so.
That works well. Well, good. Well, it's great to have you. And then we've got Sarah. This is your second meeting, so.
Yeah.
And I believe Matt, our other new planning commissioner, he's not able to make it this evening, so it will be us. So we'll jump right in. So this evening, we've got, let's see, APA Fall Conference Commissioner Training Opportunities. Maverick, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So the APA 4 conference is gonna happen in Layton September. Sorry, let me double check the calendar.
September 9th.
9 and 10. And usually for the planning commission session, always on the second day, so like a September 10, and they will have like a or morning or afternoon section just for planning commission to join in. They'll provide a training. We haven't get an agenda for this year's yet, but if anyone want to join this training, just let us know. We will help commissioner register the meeting, and the city will pay the fees. Yeah, and it's a Layton, the conference center, so from here probably hour. Yeah, so just when I get agenda, I will forward to all the commissioner and let you guys know of any section you guys interesting. If you guys interesting in the Wednesday section, you're welcome to join any session, because after register kind of like a full days or 2 days training, you guys can choose any time available or any session you like it.
And remind me, how many hours are required per year for planning commissioners?
I need
Continuing
to
ed.
check with it. I don't remember. I just know it's required.
Yeah, I'll work on figuring that out over the next few minutes here.
Perfect. That'd be great. And I believe this year, if you were on the planning commission, we did have kind of that mandatory, I believe it was a meeting,
Training thing you had to do online thing.
which I think was sufficient for this year.
Yep.
If I remember correctly, so.
Yep.
This could be for any of the new commissioners, that are just coming on board. Could be a good opportunity. As well as ULI, Urban Land Institute, has some great just online trainings for any type of land use, classes that they have. So maybe if we could have either yourself or Jim send out kind of a notice to all the planning commissioners as far as where hours are at and what might be required of for training.
Okay.
Wonderful. Moving on, we have got, I believe, a couple business items tonight. So we've got project CUP 26 012. Maverick, do you want to give us an introduction to that?
Yes. So let me share my screen really quick. A little bit loud. Yeah. Okay, so the project number is a CUP 26 012, and the action request is conditional use permit to operate a home occupation with the client is for the Pilates fitness class. And the applicant is Kathy, and the address is 3594 Brighton Point Drive. And the property zone is R1A single family residential. For the applicant request, the applicant is requesting approval of the conditional use permit to operate the Pilates and appointments only home occupation with an exceeding single family residential residence at 3594 Brighton Point Drive. The business will provide a private and duty Pilates instructions for up to 2 clients per session with an exceeding indoor studio space, and the business will be owner operate with no additional employee and will service approximately 1 to 5 clients per day. And according to the applicant narrative, the proposed business hour is a Monday, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., Tuesday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., Wednesday, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m., and Thursday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., only 4 days a week. And the appointment will be, they're going to minimize the traffic and the parking impacts, and the client parking will be accommodated within an exceeding driveway. And no internal modification, signage, outdoor activity, or structures improvement are proposed.
Matt,
So
really quick on this.
Yeah.
From an hour standpoint within home business and conditional use permits under this,
Mhm.
what is the allowance of hours?
usually, for the constitutions, there's a no kind of like required business hour. It depends on like this homeowner, their narrative tell us. Usually, we always recommend like a regular business hour, like a Monday to Friday, 8 to 5 or 9 to 6.
So if she exceeds these hours, does she have to come back in to create additional documentation and proposals and staff work if she exceeds this?
Basically, when we review this one, this is the schedule she's supposed to follow. But on my recommendation for the conditional item, Jim and I with discussion, we maybe just like change to like regular business hours. So for those kind of case, if the applicant want to adjust a little bit, she don't need to submit another amendment and then back to the planning commission. But if the commissioner thinks the business hour control can help the neighbor feel more safety or concerned about the traffic impacts, we can just more specific for the business hour.
Great, thank you.
And because the picture is kind of like the view from the driveway, also from the street for the applicant's property. And this is the traffic and the parking plan. So applicant have a huge curved driveway in the front, also some separate parking space. And I talked to the applicant, so when the business hour, her personal car gonna park into the garage. So all the empty space in the driveway will provide for her client parking. And this kind of traffic control, car need to be coming in on one side and out on one side, so it's not gonna be like block each other. And each clock section around like a 15 minutes. So the play can give you like a 10 minutes, let her climbing can out and other customer can come in, so no traffic jam happen at the same time. Especially this is kind of appointments only class, so applicant also can easy to control the traffic flow and make sure it's like not all the climbing coming in at the same time.
So we don't really need 3 parking places
Mm-mm.
all at once.
All at once. Yeah, they're just
one or
the open
two.
space, just 1 or 2. Yeah, this kind of is just the extra. Just in case like, oh, if like 2 customer come 2 car and 1, so they always have a space, the car can back up and just for emergency. Yeah. And this is kind of applicant her floor plan. So basically all the business activity gonna happen in the basement. And the picture you can see this kind of like a Pilates studio. And for the public comment, as the 12 p.m. on the Tuesday, just yesterday, the city received 2 public comment regarding to this application, and both comment already forward to the commissioner. Yep. And for the zoning, analyze and impasse. So this property is located in R1A zone, single family zone district. A home occupation of the client might be approved as a conditional use in the R1A zone pursuant to City Code 19.26030E and 19.76.040F7. The proposed use is an appointments only owner operates home occupation provided private Pilates instructions within the exceeding residence. The business will operate in eternally indoor with no additional employee, internal signage outdoor activity, retail sale, or structures modification. The application entities probably say that 1 to 5 clients per day with appointment only to minimize the traffic and the overlapping arrival. The client parking will be accommodated with the exceeding driveway and no on-street parking is proposed. Staff found that the proposed using is initially and the secondary to the primary residential use is not expect to create the significant off-site impacts and will preserve the residential characters of the neighborhoods subject to complying with the conditional of approval. And this is kind of the conditional approval item that staff recommended, and I sent all the conditional item to the commissioner already, so you guys can ready, if you want to repeat it, I can read all of them. The one thing I want to mention is like the item number 4, like we discussed before, because the applicant narrative is very specific for her business hour, kind of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to specific hour. But after the discussion of the development director, we think we want to keep the residential a little bit flexible so she can change her business. If like he's saying, oh, Thursday, 1 hour is not working, you want to change to Friday, she can just change it and no need to be submit a revision plan and go back to commissioner review. So we changed the conditional item to should be limited to the Monday through Friday between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. But if the commissioner thinks this kind of be too broad or any other concern, we're happy to follow any conditional you guys recommended or. Yep.
Maverick, what's the workout time? Is it an hour?
The class time?
Yeah.
Yeah, just 15 minutes.
Okay.
So 10 minutes,
50.
let the resident can out and drive out and another one's coming. So
Okay.
just the 50 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's say an hour.
What are the current quiet hours in the city?
7 to 10. Yeah.
I just see a business like this potentially seeping into after business hours.
Mhm.
So, you know, I would hate to waste additional admin time and commissioner time to come in and make amendments to this. So, I mean, part of me feels more comfortable to make it closer to more quiet hours. I mean, 1 to 2 people per hour, I would imagine if they're maintaining with 3 to 4. Just if it ever exceeds, I would hate for neighbors to put in complaints.
Okay.
So, you know, 5 to 9 or 5 to 10, if it is within quiet hours. Personally, I'd feel comfortable with that. I'm not sure if any of the other commissioners have any thoughts behind that, but it seems like it's a pretty low impact situation, especially for the neighborhood. And I mean, that could be, you know, a couple friends for many
Mhm.
people for the most part. So just trying to think of what can cut down on additional admin time so that honestly, I'm sure there's dozens of businesses that are running illegally in the city. I'm very appreciative that this applicant is coming and abiding by business regulation within the city of Cottonwood Heights and, you know, doing what they're supposed to be doing. So I would propose to go 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. for hours.
And I don't have a lot of concern about the hours so much, but if I lived in this neighborhood, I would want to not have a lot of traffic, a lot of business in a quiet residential neighborhood.
Yeah.
One of the letters that we received talked about a child that has some disabilities that, you know,
Yeah.
we need to watch out for, make sure everybody stays safe. So if the flow of customers remains what is suggested here, sounds okay to me.
Okay.
I just don't know how that's ever enforced or monitored. It would be easy to double or triple that, and we wouldn't know the difference that I know of.
We'd probably hear about it.
Eventually,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes, maybe.
That's how you'll know about it.
Yeah.
It'll be just fine until someone
until it's
says,
not.
this is too much.
I actually went and drove it and to go look at it just to see if I was backing out, are there any trees or bushes or anything? And it really is totally clear. The only thing is the house next door had a huge truck that wasn't really parked in their driveway. They were parked up on the wood bark and that's the only thing, but it's completely clear.
And our applicant gonna be join the business section, so during the time, I think she can explain a little bit more how she gonna do those kind of traffic control or like a child safety things. Especially the neighborhoods have that concern. I think the applicant can give us the more detail during that time, how she will control the traffic, like, oh, maybe before customer, she need to stay outside like a front yard waiting for the customer to make sure there's no kids or traffic control like that. I know some business provide those kind of service. If we have concern for the child safety, I think this kind of easy way and the best way to let the business owner take a lot of responsibility to make sure the neighborhood's child safety and the traffic.
I would feel comfortable if we wanted to regulate. It sounds like she wouldn't ever exceed this based on her proposal, but no more than 8 appointments per day, 1-hour appointments per day within business hours, but that could also be too much oversight. She may have crossovers, but
It may also be that you want to limit the number of simultaneous is maybe as big a deal, say. You can't, because you only have limited parking, you can't have more than 3 at any one time.
Kind of said in condition 5, but maybe expanding on that to limit, the overlap to 3 customers at a time or
I think
something.
3's kind of a big deal though, between if you've got 2 people leaving and 2 coming, you've got 4 cars, but if you've got 6 cars coming, that might,
No, like 3 cars at a time, sorry.
oh, okay.
Yeah, like maximum.
And maybe 4 for the, you have coming and going, so no more than 4. But you don't have room to park 4 really, you only have room to park
It was
3.
3, right?
Yeah, for the, if not in the driveway, it will be 3 spots.
So I feel like you need to clarify that, because technically if we're saying it's okay to have single or double, you could have overlapping double. And we're not accommodating for that from a parking standpoint, so we could just say that.
It looks like the equipment will limit the number of participants at the same time as well.
I never do the plotting before, so I don't know how many people can.
It's terrible.
But 10 minutes is not much of an overlap, do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
typically people show up late. Or show up early and stay a couple minutes late. So realistically, you're gonna have people from the hour before and the hour after at the same time.
They'll have to get them out though. Because
That's what I mean, they're gonna have to schedule,
they're gonna
I
have to
think
get
that,
them out.
yeah, I think that needs to be part of the condition 5 to stipulate that it can't be
No
more than
socializing.
3
Yeah.
customers overlapping.
Yeah.
great.
Yes.
Very appreciative when we see these types of applications.
Oh,
Because
great.
I do know there are many in the city that are not going through this process. So the beauty of this is, being able to have that oversight, understanding health, safety, wellness, everything is so important. So very grateful for the applicant on that.
We might need
Totally
to
agree.
require that Maverick go over and go through a full workout. Just to make sure that.
Just to evaluate the whole scenario.
Go spread and make sure, okay.
Understand the process, yeah.
Exactly.
And I'll let you add that condition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, Sean. I suspect there's a lot of businesses like this. And I've been involved a little bit myself in one of these in Sandy where it was a psychiatric office that was just in somebody's basement.
Yeah.
Had a-
Yeah,
Not a big impact, but it was a very conservative neighborhood, very quiet neighborhood, but there'd be a little bit of a flow. Never was a problem.
I would imagine it is very similar to the amount of illegal not ADUs, but illegal short-term rentals that we have in the city. I would imagine that it's very, very similar. Maybe not with the amount of traffic that's going on, but there's, if there's gray area, usually people are trying to,
It's filled in.
yeah.
Mhm.
Wonderful. Anything else on this one, Maverick?
No, that's it.
Great.
I've got an update on the training stuff. I found out how much is required.
Wonderful.
So it's based off of Utah State Code. It says there's 1 hour required of annual training about general powers and duties. So I know that was what you both just had to do to start on planning commission. And then 3 additional hours. State code says that you can qualify for one of those 3 hours being if you attend 12 public meetings of planning commission within the calendar year, but then the other 2 would have to be some other form of training. So yeah, going to the
So total of 4,
total of 4. One is just
one
your
of it's
general
taken care of
training.
from being here.
Yeah, if you're here more than 12 times in a year, and then the one of the other ones is if you do just your general training, and then it leaves 2 more hours. So that helps.
And as I recall, no one's really monitoring that. It's kind of the honor system. Is that
Probably.
Right.
Just that
understand.
1 hour, that training that Sean mentioned before, you have to go to state website, that one. That one, every year when the state editors here to the city, they check city document, they will ask, we provide your certification to them to make sure everybody's meet with that.
So that's the one we already did, right? Like,
Yeah, that's the
okay,
one you
so we're
guys
there.
did,
So
yeah.
it's 3 more hours. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, without that, others just beyond.
But I will ask you on record, you did them, so.
Don't break state law.
And I'll say,
And it'll just be like those unregistered businesses. So, sure, yeah, we did it.
Doesn't show up on the transcripts.
I may just take the 5th.
Yeah. Oh, you should. I hear it's effective.
Yeah, it's common.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for that. In regards to CP 25 005, in regards to, do we have that for new engineer firm and
So for the city RFQ, they start collect the data and start preparing the reports. And Jim just emailed them asking for, where's when they can come give the presentation during the planning commission. So they say probably like in October's planning commission, they'll here give the presentations and let us know what they found and what's their recommendation is. And also, we tried to check with the applicant because I know we keep requesting applicants submit a required document, but applicants kind of like a no response for almost 2 months. So now basically we're just waiting for like city RFQ to provide those kind of their research results in the study and improvements. And I know for a few months ago during the meeting, the commission decided on October, the email gonna back to the business section. So I just want to check if Commissioner, you guys still decided you guys want to bring the email back to the business section with the public hearing, or want to wait after the city engineer final result and bring the meeting back to November.
I would propose, because I believe we were anticipating September for the presentation from the engineer,
Mhm.
and then October was going to be when we go back to public hearing. So I would
Okay.
propose for us to push it 1 month from presentation from the engineer's
Okay.
RFQ.
So I'd second that. Yeah, for whatever that's worth.
Yeah, we'll need time to review that. So,
Do we have up to a year to make a decision, or we cannot make a decision for a year,
The latter.
the
the
latter?
latter, correct.
Okay,
Yeah. So after this, it will go to the council for a certificate of appropriateness.
yes.
And that would be the next steps that we would be taking in this process after we make a recommendation to the council on a direction. So, and then, they'll review all of our findings, our direction, and then they will have their own timelines and process from that period forward. So,
Yep, so that's all the update for OML. We'll just get a result, probably end of this month in September, October, we'll move to next.
great. Great. Anything further on any of the form-based code? I know that we put that on pause, and I think it was going to be resurfacing here in the next couple months, potentially. Has anything been brought up recently on that?
No.
Council haven't burned anything, we haven't heard any updated.
There was, in the most recent newsletter, I believe, a reference that we're gonna schedule a meeting in September, a joint meeting.
Oh.
The joint meeting, is that for general plan, like I think, for the general plan, because we get the the open house on
Mhm.
July 2nd, 22nd. Yeah, I think just a few weeks ago. And our consulting, they collect all the comment and the residents, they're writing or online, because the online comment gonna open until end of August. So after that, it's gonna be another joint session for the planning journal plan again, and I believe it was September, the middle of September. Yeah. But.
But your
they're
question
not-
about form-based code,
Yeah.
I think those two things will be tied together.
I can double check with Jim because
There shouldn't
we
be.
didn't talk about phone-based code yet, so.
I think the general plan will either adopt or not adopt that form-based code
Hmm.
concept.
mm,
Interesting.
I could be wrong, but
Yeah.
that's the way it seems that it would play out.
Yeah. I can double check and just send you guys the update if they're gonna relate to each other or just so specific for the journal plans.
Right. Well, we have a pretty straightforward meeting today and not much else on the agenda. So we've got about 30 minutes until our general session, business session. So I'm open for motions and we can get off the record. So
Would it be fair for the new people, for us old people to maybe introduce ourselves a bit as well?
absolutely, we can either do that on the record or off the record. What would you guys prefer?
Off the record.
Off the record.
Propose that we adjourn.
Wonderful. That'd be great. So we've
I'll
got
second that.
a first and a second, we will adjourn. So we'll see you guys back in 30 minutes, but